In 2009, you trained the National Stakes and Myglair Double with two very cheaply bought horses by unfashionable sires, Kingsfort the National Stakes and Termagant in the Myglair Stakes.
That's right, yeah. We bought one for 36 and the other for 38 in the workman sale. Or the
Sportsman
sale,
yeah.
Sportsman sale.
Termagant was by Powerscourt.
Yeah.
And the other horse, Kingsfort, was by Warchant, no?
Warchant, that's right. Yeah, Warchant, yeah. Out of a good family. He was out of a good family, but a good-looking horse. And I bought him for, what do you call it, Norman Ormanston. And Sheikh Mohammed bought him, gave us a lot of money for him. Anyway, those were...
Termagant was owned by a great pal of yours as well, George Vasicek.
Ah, yeah, poor old George got drowned. A good man. And we had La Collina for him. She won the
Matron Stakes.
Matron Stakes. Yeah, I bought her off a good mate of mine, Frank Barry, who was a great fella, good judge.
What did you look for when you went to the yearling sales? Because you always bought a lovely, and still do, by an eye-catching individual.
Good mover. Look, something that looks like an athlete. Yeah. And now, if you walk like me, I wouldn't sell well.
The two of us will be alongside you as well. We know a bid.
See, now these fellas walking pigeon-toed, you wouldn't be buying too many of them.
Do you put much emphasis on stallions, pedigrees, or is it all about the budget?
A lot is to do with the budget, but like if you can see a bit of black type in what you got, but mostly racehorses are bred to be racehorses, and they're out. You see that horse that won the national stakes yesterday? His dam, Minding, she was very good, and her dam, Lily Langtry, she was very good. So, I mean, it's like everything else. They're bred to be good. You know, if you have one that bred to be a show jumper,
You normally are.
you don't have much chance running against those.
And you always punch above your weight with that type of horse taking on the big stables.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, you can only get them as fit at what you got, and most of those horses that are ordinary bred, you can't drill them like like well-bred horses. They don't last too long. And if you notice these, I noticed before we conclude, I saw an animal beat me in Ballinrobe, and it ran 17 times from the time it won its previous race, and it won off 65 at the Curragh as a 2-year-old. And it ran 17 times, and we worked out conservatively what it cost the man to get to win a race, and it went back to 65, and it won a short head. How I know it, because it beat one of mine off 54, right? And the 54 now was off 76, and it's had 8 runs to get back. It went to 69, and it ran 4th in an ordinary handicap, and it went back to 73. Now it's 70 again, and anybody thinks that I'm going to run it 17 times before it'll win 5 grand, they're not in the right parish.
The economics of it doesn't add up, Kevin.
I mean, it cost that man 32 grand to get it back on a mark where it had a chance and wins a short. It hasn't been seen since. He probably brought it home and making a pet out of it.
The facilities on the Curragh.
Absolutely the best anywhere.
How have they changed since when you first started training?
Well, I mean, the truth of the matter is, it's changed because there's no horses here. And we're very, very lucky to have Joseph O'Brien and Aidan O'Brien to come in and work their horses there and pay fees to keep it going. Other than that, like, I mean, for the amount of horses there, we couldn't pay the fees. it's beyond the budget. So I don't know whether anybody else knows that John Ox used to have a big string of horses. Which I had a good string of horses. Desi Hughes had a good string of horses. Miko had a good string of horses. And there was a lot of horses, you know. And I mean, they were able to punch their weight and pay their way. But if those people didn't come in and work their horses here, and by the way, Tony Mullins,
Willie, obviously.
Willie Mullins comes in, he works his horse. If they didn't come in and put money in the pot, it might as well, the grass would be growing out over the hedges.
We've got some good up-and-coming trainers on the Curragh, though. That shows there's a bit of life coming again.
It might be real life, but listen, if you don't, as I said to you, if you don't, you have the gun, but if you don't have the cartridges, you can't. So you have to have owners. And how are you going to get owners if there's no incentive for them to come here? No incentive whatsoever.
And all the facilities have been all upgraded over the last couple of years.
Mrs. Boucher there, she's done marvellous work subsidising the gallops. And everybody should be down on their knees thanking her. You know.
Eva Hafner, of course, of my
That's what I mean, yes. Yeah. She's Mrs. Boucher, I think. Isn't she?
You go from training back when you first started training, just grass, gallops, ploughs, then to the all-weathers and everything. How big a change was that for you?
Like, I mean, years ago, we had old ploughed gallops, and you'd have to put a bit of paper in them to try and keep your horse going. And basically, if you wanted to gallop, you had to get a harrow and go to Portmarnock or give them a bit of work in Portmarnock. And the old man had the place up in Wicklow there. But other than that, you wouldn't be able to compete. Now, everybody is able to compete. They all have the facilities, and there's no excuse for bad trainers, only bad horses.
That's a very good point.
You know. Everybody has all equal now, except the ones that can afford to buy the best bullets.
And Kevin, you have, as we said, 7 decades. You're training winners. You've kept on moving with the times and evolving. That must give you some pride.
I never think about it. All I went up to from day to day, and that's what you have. Like, the one thing about training races, it gets you out of bed in the morning, and if you have a real horse, you get out an hour earlier.
And you're always an early riser, because you've always been the earliest starter on the Curragh, haven't you?
Oh yeah, what do you go? Well, Clive Britton at Newmarket didn't go to bed, but I do.
But you're very competitive.
Oh yeah.
Who is your biggest rivalries down through the years with all the different generations of trainers? Was there one that really stood out with you?
Well, I think Weld over the years, like, I mean, he's done very well, and he's done everything. And one time we used to be able to compete, and I didn't have as many horses in, but I used to be able to nearly match as many winners he had. But I always found him that, I think, like, pound for pound, he's done a great job. You know, he's had Ravi Tikku and got horses like all round, had some great owners, universal owners, which were great for him. But he did a very good job for them.
Yeah.
You know, Bert Firestone was very good for him. He'd Akazawa, good man. You know, he'd some very good owners, but he's had some very good horses and some very well bred horses.
And Walter Hafner, of course, the
I had
founder
him
of
first.
Did
I
you
had
train
him
his first Group 1 winner, Oriel?
I trained his first group winner ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had him, and long story.
We're in no rush.
Long story.
How would you like your legacy to be remembered as?
The fella that told mostly the truth.
How did you get the nickname Spot?
I don't know.
Go on.
Come on.
I don't know, actually. I don't know.
You've been affectionately known as Spot for
Years.
You wouldn't be slow to miss someone else's horse going up the gallop if it worked well.
That's what the boys got. The Spot saw that. Jimmy Coogan, I think. Jimmy had a runner at the Phoenix Park. and it got left 100 yards anyway. And anyway, it ran on. I think it finished fourth. And I saw it in a mallet the following week. And anyway, I had a runner anyway, and I saw it in anyway. And I went down and I had 1,400 to 1, you see. And Jimmy, what he heard that I had the 1,400 to 1. Jimmy got 12 to 1, and his owner got 12 to 1. But I only backed it because I saw it at the finish part, and it won half the track. But anyway, your man said, I think Coogan called me spot.
Kevin, it's been an absolute pleasure. You're a legend of Irish racing, and what an unbelievable career. 7 decades from beginning training, you're still training winners.
I enjoyed every bit of it. And I must congratulate what he got, Aidan O'Brien. He trained 4,000 winners yesterday. I've trained over 2,000 winners. And I didn't have the same ammunition, but well done to him.
How good a trainer is Aidan?
The best. He's so dedicated. He does nothing else. Like, I mean, he does it night, down the morning. He's so dedicated. Like, I mean, it's unbelievable. He's a great workhorse.
Do you think he's the best trainer that you've ever competed against?
He's the best horses anyway. So, it's the best footballers kick the best balls. You know, he's a good trainer. So is Henry Settler, a good trainer. Trained Franklin. So is John Gosling. But they don't win with horses that are rated 70 and 80 group races. As simple as that. If you don't have the ammunition, you can't win the war.
Any regrets in your training career?
One regret, that I won't live long enough to enjoy it.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.